Mic. Is mic working? Let's see. Is mic working? Yep. Let's see. Is mic working? Yep. Let's see. Hello and welcome to GRL comms stream tonight for what will be round number 2. Don't have our usual commentator lineup tonight, as we've got myself. Otherwise, would have WTFL Curly, or Curly here, usually with me in the comm box. But, still, this is the GRL comms for tonight, which hopefully will get a bit of track action soon. Bahrain, it's a lovely circuit, overall. It's a nice track. To be fair, actually, don't even know. I think it's got 21 corners. I'm not even too sure. I need to get a track map up of Bahrain. Bahrain track map. Let's look it up. Pretty sure it's 21 corners. Could be a bit more. It's got 3 DRS zones. Between the last turn down to turn 1, and then turn 2 up to turn 4, and then I think it's turn 10 to turn 11. So how many turns is it? Ah, it's 15. 15 turns. And the first car is out of Amidat then here. So he is the first car out onto the circuit, followed by his returning teammate of Shay, who's been out of action for the last 6 months, and well, he is the only other champion to win GRL. So this is a big return for himself, and from what I've heard, he's a very solid racer overall. So I expect certainly good things to witness from Shay. However, it is a very different game, this F1 game, F1 23, compared to 2022 or even 2021. The handling model is so much different overall. So the two Williams pretty much coming out line astern with each other. Amibat's on the mediums. What's Shay on? Shay's on the softs overall. If you've got any comments, make sure you leave them down in the comment section or in the live chat, and I'll do my best when I get the opportunity to read them out on stream, of course. And yeah, obviously make sure you drop a subscribe to the channel, and also give me just 1.5 seconds. I'm gonna actually in-game volume. I have no idea how to do that, Chartman, to be fair. At least you get good engine sounds compared to other channels. Be blessed all. Right, I'm gonna quickly do an invite link, so anyone who wants to join the Discord, of course, can do overall through the link, and yeah. So that is the link to the Discord in the chat. So yeah, if you want to join the Discord, so option setting audio top line. CBA, no offense, yeah. So long the sound's coming through fine, let me just judge it for myself. The sound is fine. Anyway, back to the laps then. So Shay's got a lovely tow here from his teammate, and goes immediately fastest at the top with a 1:28.72. So that's a pretty solid lap from Shay then overall in the Williams. And as I said, his first league race back in over 6 months, and he's the only other driver from Tom to win the actual championship in GRL. So that's well, Tom's a very quick driver, who in fact, did he win last week? Let me just check the championship standings overall. No, it was a nice job he won last week. Tom came P2, so yeah, overall with him coming P2, that's pretty good start to his campaign overall. So right, let's go on board then with hopefully a lap of someone, and I think George Matt is on a lap. I'm going to get up the tyres, what everyone is on. Let's get on the sectors and get the track map up then, and pretty much then everything is up and displayed. So George Matt then coming through then sector 2 as we go on board with George Matt. Got the fuel warning symbol, so running low on the fuel. Absolutely taking it to the limit, I suppose, with the fuel. As he comes around the final corner, where will this place him? It's going to be a 1:33, so puts him P8 then in this, well, in the grid so far. Sure, there will be more drivers to come. Let's see anyone else who's on a lap. 29 for first sector for Jace. How the hell? Gist New? Don't really know how to pronounce that name. Anyway, the Ferrari driver, which I feel a bit sorry for the Ferrari drivers actually this week, because due to the new tyre glitch, they are going to be very badly affected during the race, and that's a pretty solid lap from the Ferrari driver then, to get himself up into P6. So, yeah, pretty decent lap overall from the Ferrari. So, what's Waffler doing then? So Waffler actually had a pretty solid race last time out in Spain from what I remember. And let me just check whether my memory serves me well. No, it don't. I'm pretty sure he had a solid race pace anyway. And goes P12 here in the Aston Martin. Last time he DNF'd. So yeah, my memory certainly don't serve me well for the Aston Martin driver. Which overall isn't great memory. Shows how bad my memory is overall, which isn't great. Chartman then. The Alfa Romeo then. Here, overall, a very keen league racer. He is, of course, leagues races every night of the day. Literally, he is always league racing. Chartman is, which he's a great guy. You know, always gotta have respect, peace, and love for Chartman. If you've ever got a problem, like Chartman is just the best person you can go to overall. And thank you, Mans Not Bob, for thank you for the compliment, and it's a pleasure to watch. I highly appreciate that indeed. But Chartman coming around then the final corner, turn number 15, then here opens up the DRS and goes P14. So yeah, a lovely, a decent first lap. Last week he said one thing he needs to learn is setups in this game, so is struggling for setups at the moment, Chartman is, but once he finds those setups, I'm sure he will find a lot more pace to unlock overall. So, is Amy back on a lap? I think he might be. He's currently 2 seconds quicker than his Dell. It's certainly looking a bit quicker. Obviously, on those mediums, does he stay out? Does he keep going? No, he keeps going and improves by 4 seconds. So, a decent improvement. As GRL Mac has a spin, then as Fate does a 107 for the middle sector, so probably about a 59, I think, middle sector. Or not 59, it'd be about 30 something sector, I think. But anyway, he's on a quick lap, that's what I'm trying to say. Or on a lap that should put him quite near the top, and it does indeed. And Shea is currently in a very nice position with a 5-tenth gap back to Fate. So Fate does a very good lap indeed to go P2. And we've still got some drivers still yet to do a lap. For instance, OP Gamer, will he live up to his name? And GRL Mac, who has invalidated and spun, so he'll need to come in probably for a fresh set of tyres, refuel, and then go again. So yeah, overall, it's pretty much, I think all the first round of laps are done, then, and we will wait then. We've only got about, what, 6 minutes and 30 something seconds left in the session. Time flies by when you're in the comm box, I noticed. You know, that's one thing. When you're on comms, you don't even notice how quickly the time goes by. And before you know it, literally, the session is over. So, yeah, Shea's on that out lap. He's already got about a 5/10 of a gap, which is pretty mega overall. I mean, in league racing, to put that into context, I would say 5/10 is the equivalent in league racing to having a second on your rival in real racing, basically. You know, it's a lot of time, you know, especially because, with these cars, you got to remember they're like equal cars, and obviously, in theory, no one has any advantage through being, whether you're in the Williams, whether you're in the Alfa Romeo, the Ferrari, or the McLaren. And obviously, therefore, every 10th of a second, you probably double that to about 2/10, roughly. So that roughly why I say, you know, 5/10 of a second of a gap is probably the equivalent in real racing, in real Grand Prix racing, to about a second of lap time then there. So it's a very impressive gap for Shea to have already at this stage. And he's only done, let's remember, 1 lap. So we'll see what he can do on his second flying lap then. As GRL Mac then retires from session and has to take avoidance action, Shea does, for the beginning of this lap. But he can still improve probably. It's not going to be too much of a hindrance, I wouldn't have thought. So third gear for first corner. Opens up for the second corner quite nicely. Then opens up the DRS. Goes nicely out to the white line. And using all the track limit into turn 4. Does he go onto the curb? No, keeps off the exit curb actually. So he's not taking too much curb. So not being greedy here, and he's improving slightly in the first sector. Down into turn 8, then a heavy braking zone, and then up the hills, gets a decent exit, decent on the power. Then into turn 9, and into turn 10. A very tricky corner, easy to lock up, but doesn't do so, and opens up the DRS then. And then taking the esports line, as I like to call it, pretty sure everyone likes to call it that, esports line. And then opens up the corner very nicely for turn 7, keeping his foot flat through turn 11 and 12 and 13, through 14 quite nicely. On a decent-ish lap here. Will it be an improvement? I think it might. How many tenths though? That's probably the bigger question. If he does want to come in, he can, because he does have time to bail out of this lap. But he decides to continue on. And how much of an improvement it is, it's about a 2/10 improvement, and increases that margin back to second place, back to fate then, and is almost a second clear of the field. So 2/10 of an improvement there. That's a very decent lap for Shea then, who I'm sure will be pleased, given, you know, there's only 2.5 minutes to come during this one. And what's going on here? Oh right, I thought there was some sort of glitch for OP Gamer, who, as I said, you know, does he live up to his name? Well, he's currently beaten the champion, I think, of last season, Tom Go Proof, or Tom, I'm just going to call him Tom. He's beaten Tom, then, in this session, which, you know, I mean, OP Gamer, living up to his name. I do like it when a person lives up to their name, as Pilivardus, or Pilvadus, currently goes second. You know, that's a name I've always struggled with since, you know, some names I get right, some names I get wrong. You do have to bear with me on that one. Anyway, who's on a lap? Let's find someone on a lap. There's plenty of people on a out lap, which is good. Just not many people on an actual flying lap. As I think Plain Cookie could be on a lap, but we've just caught him at the end of the lap. Then, as he comes around the final corner, does he jump up anywhere? Nope, remains P13 overall. So, yeah, plenty people, just everyone seems to be on outlaps. No one really seems to be on actual flying laps, which is a bit annoying because ultimately I want to find the people on flying laps, not on out laps. Right, Plain Cookie I think definitely is on a lap now. I think he was on an out lap, now is on a actual lap. So we know Sir Waffler will be the next one to come round on the lap. So, right, Plain Cookie is about a tenth up in the first sector. Gets car nicely rotated. He has got a bit of traffic though in front of him, which hopefully will not get in his way then. And what will this middle sector be? Got a yellow flag as well, so a bit of traffic, a bit of a yellow flag. Car off, keeping nicely out of the way. He's about a tenth down, so it's not looking like going to be much of an improvement here for Plain Cookie in this final lap then for him. And he will come across the line, got the Ferrari ahead, might be giving him a tow, the yellow flag as well for good measure. And here comes Plain Cookie across the line and remains P14. Stanky Bot comes across the line and remains P15 then. So Waffler, he, as I think, is the next driver, actually on an official lap, so he's currently, I think, the 10th up in the middle sector. So, pretty, pretty decent improvement if you can be a 10th up. As Tom go to the, Tom has improved, up into second place. So Tom up into second behind Shay then, and that I think is invalidation indeed. It is. Right, who else is on a lap then? So, Get Noted will be the next driver who will be heading towards the line and heading on a flyer then here. So the times are going to start tumbling. This is literally the happy hour of qualifying then, or the happy minute, I should say, not happy hour, because it's not hour. But yeah, look, forget the analogy, which was terrible there. Anyway, Get Noted comes round the final corner then for what will be his final effort. And can he improve? He does improve and jumps up into P7 then for Get Noted. So is that literally all the laps? Unless someone else is on a lap. George Matt, is he on a lap? I know, he's finished. So besides Plain Cookie, I think that's it. I think that's all the drivers on a lap then who's done a lap. And yeah, overall, that was a pretty decent qualifying. Well done to Shay, who, as I said, 6 months out, comes back, puts his car on pole, and ultimately, that is a very impressive achievement indeed, because a 6-month break from league racing, or from any type of racing, or any sport really, is not an easy thing to go and do. So, yeah, that's very impressive by Shay then there. Gotta give it to Shay. Yeah, that's fantastic. So, Tom comes second then. Pilavardis in third. The Ferrari driver in fourth. I'm just gonna call him the Ferrari driver because, no offense, if you put letters and numbers as your name, I don't really know how to read that out. Like, at least Pilavardis or Pilavidus, it's Greek, so Plavidus. In fact, let's look it up on Google Translate. I will, but yeah. Anyway, Shay's first, Tom second, Pilavardis third, the Ferrari driver fourth, Fate fifth, GRL anyway is in sixth, Spray and Prey, 7th. Get Noted, 8th. Beggars in 9th, or is it Beggars? Yeah, Bergman's in 9th. I'm going to look it up, how you pronounce that name in Greek. Anyway, Google Translate. Let's see what Google says, because, you know. Google Translate, so English to Greek. Greek. So, PL. And we'll basically learn how to pronounce that name properly. Thank you, Oscar. And the lobby's taken a bit of a time to load, so not too much of a worry unless the game has decided to crash, which wouldn't shock me. So let's see how you pronounce it in Greek. I have no idea. Pilavaldis. So I think that's how you pronounce it in Greek. Pilavaldis. So yeah, that's what Google Translate says. So anyway, Pilavaldis in 3rd. Then the Ferrari driver 4th, Fate 5th, Well Anyway 6th, Spray Prey 7th, Noted in 8th, Burgers in 9th, OP Gamer and Georgia Matt 11th, Just in 12th, the Red Bull driver 13th, Annie Bat 14th, Danky Bot in 15th, Waffler in 16th, Chartman 17th, Mac 18th, Nice Job is 19th, and Cookie in 20th. So, what was I going to say? I've literally lost my train of thought. Then, I was going to say, yeah, the tyres is going to be an interesting one. That was it. Because obviously, due to the tyre wear glitch, it's going to be interesting to see how the Ferrari-powered cars and drivers treat their tyres compared to the like the Mercedes-powered cars, because the Mercedes-powered should be a little bit less affected overall. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're getting ready then here for the lights out as they all take their positions on the grid. So, the formation lap is done, and OP Gamer has been disqualified. Oh, no. What's going on here? I think we're probably going to have to do a new lobby, most likely, which probably is going to be the case. unless the lobby loads, because yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment, but it is what it is overall. So yeah, I think the lobby has glitched out here, so I'm sure, like, yeah, we're gonna have a race restart then, for this. So we will have a fresh lobby, you know, which is a huge letdown, but is what it is. And ultimately, I've now been given the rear view of a Mercedes, overall. So yeah, so that's a bit of a disappointment. Not really sure what to say or do. I'm probably going to have to restart the stream, due to the fact, well, actually I can pause it, so yeah, I can pause it, I think, for that bit. I'll just do that when I get the new, what you call it, and just wait until then I get the invite to go back and do the comms. I hope your dinner, by the way, Curly, is enjoyable. Be nice to know what you're having for tea or dinner. Because clearly you've chosen the wrong priority in life. Food over commentating. And that is a bit of a letdown, you know, to abandon us in this game. Hopefully it lets me join first time. Sometimes just comes up, yeah, error. Right, I'm going to have to pause the stream. I'll be back in literally 2 seconds.